There was many pitchers for the Montreal Expos in the mid 1970s. Some stood out as workmanlike and dedicated, and this guy was one of them. Tom Walker just recently died after a short battle with pancreatic cancer in Gibsonia, Pennsylvania. Had two stints with Montreal, and we were kids. His cards were able collectors because the 72 and 73 top sets were so nice at that Montreal Canadian, Montreal Expo kind of lightish blue jersey, just tremendous. Now, born November 7th in Tampa, he pitched for all or part of 6 seasons from 72 until 77 for the Expos, Tigers, Cardinals, and Angels. A right-hander, he stood at all 6'1" and weighed 188 pounds. After graduating from George D. Chamberlain High School in his native Tampa in 66, he was selected by the Baltimore Orioles in the 68 January amateur draft. On August 4th, 1971, while playing for the Dallas-Fort Worth Spurs in the Double-A Dixie Association, he threw a 15-inning no-hitter to beat the Albuquerque Dodgers 1-0. He threw 193 pitches to win the contest. Now, in 72, under the Rule 5 rule, he was selected by the Expos and made his major league debut that season. Unfortunately, he only spent 2 campaigns with Montreal, was eventually traded with Terry Humphrey from the Expos to the Tigers for Woody Fryman on December 4th, 74, and of course Fryman came back late in the decade. Now, ironically, the last batter he faced in the majors, the great Lyman Bostock, lined into a triple play. He had a 18-23 record and 191 major league appearances over 6 seasons with 262 strikeouts. Now, ironically, he's part of baseball history in a strange way. In 72, while playing winter ball in Puerto Rico, Walker and several other players helped Roberto Clemente load a plane carrying relief supplies to survivors of the Nicaragua earthquake after Christmas. He offered to accompany Roberto on a trip to the Central American nation, but the plane was full and Clemente told him to stay behind and enjoy his New Year's Eve. Ironically, a few hours later, Walker returned to his condo and saw the news reports that Clemente's plane had crashed off the coast of Isla Verde, Puerto Rico. There were no survivors. Now, Walker and his beautiful wife Carolyn lived in Gibsonia, Pennsylvania. Their son Neil is a former MLB player who retired in 2021. Another son, Matt, played in the major leagues as an outfielder in the Tigers minor leagues for the Tigers and Oriole Systems, while another son, Sean, pitched for George Mason University. Tom was also the brother-in-law of former Montreal Expos pitcher Chip Lang. Meanwhile, Don Kelly, a former Tigers outfielder, married Walker's daughter Carrie, a former pro basketball player, in 2007. In July 2015, Walker was elected to the Texan League Hall of Fame. Again, he passed away from pancreatic cancer on October 23rd, 2023, at age 74. Now, what really stood out for me with Walker, I know there's a couple occasions he tried to attempt French with the Expos, but he had a pretty solid record. Now, 46 games with the Expos in 72, 2-2 with 2 saves. 73, 54 games, 7-5 record with 4 saves, and 74, 4-5 with 1 complete game. He started 8 contests that year, finished 15 games with 2 saves. And decent 2.89 ERA, 3.63 in 73 and 74, 3.83. Tigers in 75, and he had 9 starts, went 3-8 overall, 4.45 average. Cardinals 1-2 in 76, 4.12. 11 games with the Expos in 77, 1-1 record, and finished off with the Angels 1 game with 2 innings pitched and with 2 earned runs. So, but Tom Walker will again always stand out for us because those 2 sets, 72 and 73, that's when the Montreal Expos became a really, really popular team across Canada. Obviously, Boston and the Yankees and the Dodgers were strong, but the influence of Rusty Staub, the influence of the big young draft players coming up, the Latino influence, and Tom Walker was a fan favorite of Jerry Park for obvious reasons. You know, we had a good moving ball, multiple pitchers. Could be put in any situations, and you know, to have a middle reliever or what do you call a person can get a save every once in a while. But what really stands out for me, Tom Walker, is those cards. I have one of Tom Walker's 73 cards in my collection. One of my early cards I remember back 50 years ago. And I was always impressed with him when he played because he just went in there and did his job, and you need that with a player. You see with the Blue Jays relievers they have now. So Tom Walker will be missed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing, we're a vintage podcast on Montreal Expo players of the 60s and 70s. Let us know what a like, comment, subscribe, or share. But like I said, he's part of baseball history in a lot of ways. I don't remember where there was a 15-inning no-hitter with almost 200 pitches. It's very rare. And the triple play with the great Lyman Bostock, who left us earth way too early, and Clemente as well. You know, he was part of the baseball fabric of the 70s for sure. Thanks for listening. Bye.